All right, guys, and we are back with this pretty great episode, I'd say, that's going to get a lot of you guys hooked, especially if you're not hooked on Invincible already. And I think first I want to talk about why Invincible actually became so popular, and that's just going to be Robert Kirkman's storyline from Image Comics. I think that it's a very lengthy series that really gets you into it, and the way that they're adapting it into an animated series, I think that they've done a great job. I know that me and you are really just getting into the deep side of comics and we're
Mhm.
just getting into this, but I think that's one that before you really get deep into the series, we should have you touch on that on YouTube, just listening to it and listen to some of the comic book stories. But if you guys don't know, like I said, it was created by Robert Kirkman, and it's just a very popular show on Prime Video,
Mhm.
Prime Video right now, and it's 100% Rotten Tomato every season that's come out so far. And I think if you have that type of success, especially the day we're in where there's a lot of critiques, I think that really says something. And a lot of it is word of mouth with how Invincible has grown. Have you heard, like, where did you first hear about it where you tried to go watch those first three episodes?
I actually seen a TikTok of it. I seen
Okay.
a clip of Omni Man taking his son's face to like all was it I think it was a
All the
train
buildings.
from a
Yep.
building. I'm
Chicago.
like, that's his kid, and he's
Yep.
doing that to his kid.
Yep.
Like, I was so confused. And then the person that played Omni Man, the voice of oh my god, why I just forget
It's
his name? Why did I forget his
J.K.
name?
Simmons.
Yeah, J.K. Simmons.
Yeah.
That's what got me. I'm like, okay, I think I need to watch this because
Yep.
I actually like J.K. So
I think as you move forward with the series, one of the things that is going to be our main like talking point right now is going to be the characters. I will say I am kind of disappointed that you only got to 3 and got a little bit um a little bit bored or whatever it was, because when you get into some of these episodes that they have, it's more of a story arc in the first season to get you to that. I'm not going to tell you what happens yet, but it's to get you to that ending of season 1 where you remember how we talked about Batman the Killing Joke
right.
and how it was one of those animations that left you on like the edge of your seat because you're like, I didn't know a animation could do this to me.
Right.
That's what the final episode of Invincible season 1 does to you. I
Okay.
promise you, you will have the same effect, and it will be just as jaw dropping, especially learning everything that you know about the superhero himself.
Yeah, I mean, I try like when Omni Man. I think it was the first episode when I seen him literally walk, literally dog walk the fake Justice League.
Hmm.
That's what they look like to me. That whoever that it was, they look like a knockoff Justice League to me. But I'm like, what is this? Like, is this man a part of the team? Is he like, who is Omni Man? Like, I don't get his character. I don't get
That's
nothing.
exactly why you need to keep diving, and we'll give you a little bit more reasons and a selling point. And like we said, we're going into the characters. So the first one's going to be Mark Grayson. I feel like he's kind of a relatable character to a lot of people. He's kind of this kid who had dormant powers. He gets powers late. You saw that in the episode. But there's always this like fear of him being like his father and doing the things that he did in episode 1 to everyone else. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Especially when you get deeper into the series, there's a lot more crazy shit that Omni Man does and says to people that you think he cares about in those first couple episodes that leaves you like, holy shit. Like, I will admit, there was a point in season 2 where I got to like, okay, what's going on with this show now? And then I heard some stuff and I was like I'm multitasking, playing the game, not really paying attention. I'm like, pause. I had to watch it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had to see that clip because there's some stuff in there that just like even just hearing how in depth the voice acting is, it really pulls you into the story. And he has so much growth across all of the seasons. especially when you understand how old Omni Man is and see how long the Viltrumites end up living. He's on a fast pace for like for the average Viltrumite. He's defeating Viltrumites that have lived thousands of years, and he's doing this as a kid who just got his powers maybe 1 or 2 years ago.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And even in the first season, it's he's fighting ground level villains and heroes with like still learning his powers. He's still trying to figure out what to do to become a real hero. So I think Mark is a great selling point, but I will say the main selling point of this TV show is Omni Man. Omni Man's arc will really have you like in a chokehold, especially in the first episode when he gives Mark. Did you get to the part where he explains like the Viltrumites' origins on how they're like these people that take care and are sent to protect worlds?
If I did, I mean, like I said, I watched like 3, 4 episodes, but
Okay.
this is probably like 2 months ago, so I don't really remember. But tonight, I'm definitely now we're going over that. I'm gonna go watch it.
Okay.
Uh,
So I think that that part of it is very detrimental to knowing, especially once you get towards the end, because he kind of leaves out bits and pieces that are all bad. So he
mhm.
leaves out all the bad parts in that original story, where there's some truth to the story about the Viltrumites and their society, but then you get the dark story that is the true story at the end, which really leaves you in shambles when you figure out what the true state of Omni Man's mission is, why he's here, and why he chose Earth to be his kind of Superman type of planet. You know what
Okay,
I mean? Like
yeah.
his Earth. You know what I mean? But I don't know. I think the supporting cast too plays a lot of. Did you meet Rex Splode yet?
Name sound familiar. I know
You,
about duplicate, duplicate,
Duplicate. Yep,
duplicate. Yeah.
yep. So you met some of them, but when you really get into towards season two and you get into those in-depth character arcs of Duplicate, Monster Girl, I can't. What'd you say? It's robot, but I'm trying to think of he ends up renaming. I don't want to. I'm not gonna. I can't say it. I can't say it. I can't say it. I can't say it. I can't remember what his first name was, but we can't tell you why and what his actual name is. But
Okay.
there is so many people in this supporting cast, especially just for it being an animation that like you go down some of these. Like I'll tell you this just for instance, so you know. Duplicate, she has a great power where she can duplicate herself, and there are versions of her that have the same like neuro thinking process as her, so they can be told what to do at the same exact time.
Right.
Therefore, she can fight a lot of people, and she doesn't really die. But in that same sense, she still feels every death from every body, and she feels the pain from every death in every body. So she ends up having to essentially die every time she duplicates, and every time one of them gets killed, yeah.
That's crazy.
So she
Mhm.
has this great emotional story arc that ends up leading into the Immortal, which is same where he's been almost like a Viltrumite, where he lives very long and he's been through multiple generations and multiple stories, had multiple says he has multiple lovers. This is the first one that he can relate to because she's the first one with the same problem. So I think it's great that that is a story arc in a cartoon, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like just the fact that they bring that into an animated series is really strong and it's really special. And this is what I think is going to move me on to my selling point number 2. And I think the reason why it's great to fall in love with Invincible and why you fall in love with Invincible is because you're meeting all these new characters that you have no familiarity with that you're just like, "Oh, Rex Blode, he's kind of like Gambit, but he's an asshole." So he's like these different versions of characters that we've already seen in Marvels but different powers and different depictions like Monster Girl. She's pretty much the equivalent of Hulk, but her story arc is every time she transforms into the monster, she gets younger. So she started off her mindset, she's in her mid 20s, but since she transformed so many times to fight, it reduced her age to look like an 11-year-old. Yeah, so it gives you this like weird story arc where she has all this rage, but she's still trapped in this little girl's body as a grown up. And we're not going to get too deep into it because I love that part of the story arc, and I think that's one that you'll fall in love with. But like I said, it brings you these familiarities with characters that we already know from comics, but it gives you a separate storyline without having to read the Invincible comics. Like you can really, like, I know we talked about reading them just to understand so that you can like really get into the story, and that's why there's 100% Rotten Tomato, because all these fans that have read it, it finally comes out, they're like, this is exactly what we wanted. You know what I mean? So I think if you take that road into it, that it's separate and it's a whole different universe of superheroes that you're relearning and you're learning about new people, that's where I think you separate Invincible from being an show to being a great show, which I think it is, and I think you will come to love.
Mhm.
But yeah, no, you're good. Producers
Appreciate
heading
you,
out.
man.
No, we're good. Appreciate you, Rocco. Shout out, Rocco. No, you're good. But see ya. So we'll go into selling point 3, and that is going to be the action. The action in this storyline is insane. Yeah, everybody complains about the animation style and everything like that, but I don't really see a problem with it, especially with the amount of blood and gore we get. When you really meet like Battle Beast, you haven't met him yet in the
Mhm.
storyline because you're still early, but when you really meet Battle Beast, I'll tell you the one line. They asked Battle Beast what his last meal would be, and he said, "My last meal, if I'm able to, will be me sucking on my own blood and having the own taste of it. Just so, like, because my enemy has proven that he is better than me and more superior." And he's this big white lion, and he's buff as hell. It's it's a it's a crazy story arc that definitely works,
Mhm.
but it's also one of those story arcs where he's kind of a bad guy in the beginning, and then you come to love him because you're like, damn, that's a cool character. I wish he wasn't a bad guy. And then you're like, shit, he's gonna help with the team up. This is crazy as hell. But I I think the action in the story, it serves such a great purpose just because how powerful these superheroes are. Like Robert Kirkman said it, and he's the creator of it. He said that Omni Man's power set is stronger than Superman. So if he's
Yeah,
stronger,
I think I seen them say
yeah,
that on one of the podcasts.
Escape Pod,
Escape
yeah.
Pod, yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I really think like if he's giving us that information, there's a reason why it's so brutal, and there's a reason why he's running past people like this, and their heads are getting chopped off.
That's insane.
Like the fact that Omni Man and all the Viltrumites, whenever they get drenched in blood, they fly so fast that it like just falls off their costume.
That's
Like
insane.
it falls off their.
That's
It's
crazy.
and I think another person that we get to see in this show that doesn't really happen in a lot of superhero movies or superhero TV shows is you see the creator of who's making these heroes costumes. Like
Mm.
they have a tailor that is like a regular tailor by day, and then you go down in his lair and he has all these superhero costumes, and you have to bring him like some sort of um you have to bring him some sort of meaning and some sort of symbol that symbolizes you as a superhero, and then he makes a suit off of that design in your colors.
Well, that kind of remind me of I can't remember his name.
Dude from Bat,
Black, no, Black Lightning. Oh, it
I
was
know what you're talking about.
yeah,
Yeah, I
it was
watched that a
start
little.
with a G, but yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
no, totally. I think that that part alone, like, just really brings depth to some of the characters, especially when you see, like, I'm not a big, huge Image Comics guy. I'm trying to get into them, but there were there was costumes in the background that I guarantee you were Easter eggs for other characters that are going
Mm.
to be in it, you know? And there's other suits that he tried on that he didn't like that, hey, maybe they're going to another superhero that we're going to get, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? But I think it's time. I think we move to the final verdict. Like, what what did you learn now, or what did you hear me say that you didn't really catch before that you're interested in now?
Well, like you said, Omni Man's story, because like you kind of gave a vague of it, but like I still,
You too stuck on not understanding.
yeah, just I'm not really understanding. Like, is he like the animation version of Homelander, or
It's hard to say. No, he's not. He's kind of like, I'm trying to think of it. Okay, this is very broad, and it's gonna sound dumb at first, but I'm gonna like bring it down a little bit.
Okay.
He's like if there was a cosmic Punisher or like a cosmic Ghost Rider. You know what I
So
mean?
like
Because
he's
if you did you watch the Ghost Rider movies from the 2000s with Nick Cage?
yeah, with Nick, yeah, of
Do
course.
you remember at the end when like he's given the option like, do you I'll take your powers away since you did that, and he's like basically like, no, I want to keep helping people.
Right.
He was a bad guy before, ends up leaving, finds his reality, comes back trying to rebuild as a superhero.
And like it's not working out too well for him. So
That's why you gotta watch because it
yeah.
doesn't work. It
I,
doesn't work
I
at
say
all.
it doesn't work, but
Did you
yeah.
get Cecil yet? Have you got to Cecil?
Is that that's the wife, right?
No, Cecil. They're gonna clown you for that.
Okay.
Cecil's an old white dude that's like he's like a Nick Fury type of guy.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right
he
then.
has like the long white hair and bald head top.
Okay.
You might not have seen him. I don't think
I
he
don't think
got
I've seen it.
introduced until Omni Man got fucked up, and then they brought the family into there. But what would you say your final verdict is?
As of like, what do you mean?
Like, what did you say your final verdict in when like what makes you want to watch this now?
Oh, Mark is invincible, right?
Mm-hmm.
How how you say he's like one of us.
Yeah,
I kind of want to see how his story progresses, and you know how he matures into him trying to become a superhero. That is what that is what he's trying to become, right? A
yeah,
superhero.
for sure.
Yeah, I definitely want to. I
Though
want to
you'll
see
come
where
to
that.
learn that the whole story of Mark and what his purpose is, he's trying not to become his dad because he
Right.
knows
Okay.
that it will be bad for society. He knows that it'll be bad for people. He's just trying not to be his dad.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I'm down. I'm
And I'll
excited to
say
see.
this: I know you love your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. If you can get past like some of the animation quality that isn't the best as like what Marvel produces, I really think that you'll come to learn to love Mark in the same aspect that you love Spider-Man because that's kind of how I feel about it.
Mm.
That he's this kid who has, like you said, he's similar to us. He has all the same problems that we do. He's dealing with relationship problems in the TV show with a normal person who's going to college. He tries college out. It doesn't work out for him once you get to either season 2 or season 3, but there's a lot that can bring you back to reality while just watching the show,
Alright.
for sure.
So yeah, I'm definitely gonna tonight. I'm gonna watch it on my website because I can't watch it on Amazon Prime. Prime, I hate y'all. I hate y'all streaming services.
They
Your
need to
ads are
fix it.
overly too long. At least give us a uh.
Like a time period when you're gonna do it. I know there
Not
is
even
on
that. Just give us a different version of it where we could. I will pay more to not get ads, gang.
that, and like it's really all about timing when they do it.
Yes,
Y'all
yeah.
we be in the middle of a good ass fight scene, and then like somebody raise a fist, and then it cuts to a Pampers commercial. I'm like, yo,
Yeah,
come on, bro.
that's
Like, what are we
irritating.
doing here? Like,
So
so final verdict, you're in.
yeah, I'm definitely gonna give it. I'm gonna give it another shot. See where it goes.
Alrighty, guys. Well, that's it for this video. We convinced him to get onto Invincible, so that's gonna be a wrap for this. As usual, our links for all of our socials are going to be in the description below. Hope you guys like this video. Let us know what you guys are looking for in season number 5 for Invincible, and drop who your favorite Invincible character is. So, yeah, thank you guys.